Our Wellness Wednesday. So let me make sure my notifications are turned off on here. Yep, they are. Yay. So today, let me turn on some lights so it could be a little brighter in here for everybody. Both. So, good morning, everyone. I hope that we are doing as best we can in this turmoil. I feel like this is not as bright as it should be, but I might be blocking the light with my lovely flower centerpiece. Let's see if that helps to put this right here. Not really, but we'll go with it. So, this morning we are going to be discussing our health. So we've all been in the house. Some people have been quarantined for 2 weeks now, some 3, some a month, some actually over a month. And I just encourage everybody as possible, stay home, stay home, stay home. I'm home. I actually like my home. So I've always been a little bit of a homebody. Like me and my besties from high school. Like, yeah, we were. Well, don't get me wrong. We went out. We had fun. We did things. But if you just nestled us in, we were happy to be nestled in. So I want to say I think I might be a little too comfortable. But when we come out of here, I'll be ready to come out. The other thing I want to really talk about is health, because we know with this pandemic, they're talking about a lot of underlying issues and things of that nature. And I want us to understand that food is how we really nourish our bodies. So it's how we're going to provide medicines to our body. It's how we're going to, either build up our immune system, deplete our immune systems, or just keep them stable. Same thing with our hormones, the same thing with our skin. Like, all of this can be regulated with food. Because if nothing else, we are in the house with food. So I want us to understand how that works. So what you do with food is very, very important. So of course, we all know that we catch a cold, we get the flu, things like that. You can get the flu shot. You can also have, prescriptions. We can go to the drugstore. But I'm one of those people, I have a really strong immune system, and I really don't catch a cold. Like, I can honestly say the last time I had a cold, I have to really think about this because it was a long time ago. I want to say this is 2020. It might have been 2014 or 13, somewhere in there. And that's why I can remember it, because I remember how I got the cold, because I don't catch colds. Somebody gave me the cold. But with all that being said, I do a lot of things to help boost my immune system. One, because I work with the general public. So because I work with the general public, I make sure, like in the wintertime, I make myself tea, but I take some fresh ginger and I cut a piece of fresh ginger and I put that in my tea. So whatever kind of tea I'm having, I also have some fresh ginger in it, because that's a good boost for your immune system. So the other day I was having a conversation with my mom, and it went very interesting because it was my mom and my sister. You do a lot of three-way in these days. And they were like, so what is it that you do? Do you eat the whole garlic clove at one time, or do you? I'm like, yes. They're like, wait a minute, the whole clove? Yes. If I feel like I really need to take an antibiotic, or I feel like I'm going to be more exposed to something, or I feel like, this person said they were sick and I was close to them, or, I feel like they coughed or sneezed one too many times around me, yes. I come to my refrigerator and I take a garlic clove and I consume it. I just, unwrap it and consume it, because it's a natural antibiotic. So these are things that we have to be in tune with. I know that is extreme. I know a lot of people can't do that. I know a lot of people won't do that. So I'm not telling you to do what I do, but because I do these things, that's why now I can kind of do it and get over it real quick. But one of the things that I really, really wanted to share with you guys was the benefits of apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar has so many benefits to it. It's not funny. I mean, we're going to be able to work with our blood pressure. We're going to be able to help with a nail fungus. You're going to be able to help with weight gain. You're going to help burn some fat. I mean, apple cider vinegar has so many benefits to it. I actually have a book. Let me go grab this book really quickly. I should have had it over here. So when I say that apple cider vinegar, it has so many benefits to it. So this is a book. It says 81 ways to cleanse your body. So see how that works? And pretty much, I mean, it's deodorant, aftershave, hair rinse. There's so many, and that's 79, 80, and 81. So there's so many different things you can do with apple cider vinegar. This page has fibromyalgia, hiccups. So when we are talking about apple cider vinegar, you want to make sure you get some raw apple cider vinegar. What is the brand? Bragg's or Briggs? Let me get it for you guys. Bragg. So this is what you want to get. And you see I got a nice big bottle because you want to have plenty of it because you want to use it. So what I try to do, and if I have to pause in the morning and think about it before I do it, is I take a shot glass of my apple cider vinegar. And then I have to have my glass of my pineapple juice because I feel like pineapple juice has a strong enough and a potent enough flavor to it that allows me to get over the apple cider vinegar shot. Now I know some people like to take the apple cider vinegar and put it into a tea or, you know, consume it in other ways. But I like the shot because I just down it all at once to get over it. And yeah, it has it's like taking a shot of some real strong whiskey or something, okay? So it's going to give you chest hairs a perm. But that's just my personal way to do it. I don't want to keep tasting it for the whole cup of tea. That's my thing with that. I don't necessarily like, I'm not a vinegary person, and the apple cider vinegar is just like, no. So yeah, this book, and I know I ordered it online. You can probably order it on Amazon, but it's going to be a really cool guide for you to use. And so you just have this one bottle here, and you have so many different things you could do. It even has 49 as heavy metal poisoning. So for those who, you know, you have too much mercury, any heavy metals, it's going to help with jellyfish stings, cuts, dizziness, gallstones, sinus congestion, corns, calluses, warts. 31 is erectile dysfunction. So it's got a lot of good benefits, and it tells you, it gives you the details to it in with each thing, like exactly how you would use the apple cider vinegar to get rid of these things. So one of the things that I want to bring up and keep in mind is so I do a monthly newsletter, and I go through the tips in this book, and on the side of the newsletter, on the right hand side at the bottom, I usually have some health tips, and I pull a lot of my health tips from this book. So we have a lot of ACV, and that's what I refer to this as, the apple cider vinegar as the ACV. So those ACV health tips are always in the newsletter as well. Anybody that is interested in a copy of the newsletter, please DM me your email address, and I will make sure that that is sent out to you. And again, I do the newsletter once a month. There's a Asha's Hair Studio section to the newsletter, and there's a Asha's Trichology Center section to the newsletter. There are also the health tips, as I mentioned, on the bottom right. And they're just kind of in a bullet style. And I hope that, everybody can find them beneficial. But we want to really understand and know that we can actually heal our bodies. We can heal ourselves by the foods that we eat. So let me tell you guys something, because it's so funny. And one of my coworkers is like, oh my goodness, like, you are like the weirdest eater, because I eat healthy. I can eat very healthy, but I eat junk food too. Because sometimes people are like, okay, so do you eat anything bad? Or they're like, ooh, people might have some junk and they're like, ooh, I know I shouldn't eat this. And I'm like, let me tell you something. I am all about a good dessert. I'm about potato chips. I'm about all of that. So don't think I don't eat it, but it's the fact that we want to take stuff in moderation. We know if we have something that we shouldn't have, we should also have things that we should have. And a good rule of thumb and a way to eat would to be to eat like the rainbow. Every single coloring that you see in fruits and vegetables are different vitamins. So if you're eating like the rainbow, then you're getting a nice multivitamin that you're putting in your system. The foods that you eat, you're going to be able to, hey, Jackie, if I don't call you already and get this thing done so we can have our good conversation. So Jackie, I mentioned last week that I went to this wonderful color boot camp in Jamaica, and it was a lot of fun. And Jackie was my roommate at the boot camp, and Jackie is a gem. So Jackie, you and I need to do a live together next week. That's what we're going to set up. So when we're talking about, and perfect example. So Jackie and I were roommates. Like Jackie and I got it in Jamaica. I mean, we had our rum punch, we had our jerk, we had all kinds of good food. But we also were cognizant of the fact that, we may need to also eat healthier, like go a little harder when we got back home, because we knew we consumed things that we didn't. So that's why I want everybody to really be cognizant of that. We're in the house, we're snacking, we're eating things. Start making some healthier snacks. Just prepare it. So one of my healthier snacks this week has been, and I'm going to tell y'all my good and my bad snacks, because I want y'all to understand that I'm not just this health freak and I'm just pushing health at y'all in an unrealistic way. So one of my healthiest snacks, I took a cucumber, cut up my cucumber really small and put it in little containers so they like snack sizes. And then I made different dressings for them. So like one, I did the balsamic vinegar, put a little cayenne for a little extra kick. The other one, I made my dressing, which was lime and honey, and a little cayenne for a little kick. And, just make yourself these other healthier choices. So now you have something healthier to choose from. I bought some baby carrots. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to make my snack out of that yet, but when I figure it out, I will share that recipe with you guys, because that's the thing. Make it creative. Season your vegetables the same way you season your meat. Season your vegetables. Season your vegetables, because a lot of people like, oh, I don't like vegetables because you don't season them. You gotta put the seasoning on the vegetables and they taste good. So when we are talking about being healthy, we're talking about creating a balance in your body. You have to create that balance. Like, you just can't have all cookies and chips, because chips are high in sodium. So, if you ate chips and you had more salt intake, then balance that out with some more water intake, because the water is just going to flush your system. So even though you put the extra salt in there, now you're flushing it out. So don't do chips and a soda, because we know soda is also high in sodium. So that's what I mean by the balance that we create. So one of my bad snacks, I got these cookies. Y'all know the cookies with the fudge on one side and the stripes on the other side. But I didn't stop there. I bought some fluff, the marshmallow fluff, and you dip the cookie in the fluff. If you want, you can make a sandwich and put two cookies together. Oh, that is just everything. But again, if you're going to have it, have a moderation, have a cutoff point. Like, make it a balance. Don't just sit in front of the TV, just watching the TV. Everybody on the TV is making money. Everybody on the TV is being productive. And that's something I share with you because I want you to be in the mindset. I want you to be in the mind frame of how can I be productive? Because that's the way you're going to feel better. Watching TV, watching movies, there's nothing wrong with it. We're already quarantined. Enjoy yourself. But then think of what's going to make you feel like you've done something productive that day. So if you've got a book that you've been meaning to read, maybe you got a good book that you read before and you just want to refresh yourself on the story. Do little things like that so that you don't feel like you have been unproductive. Make sure that when you come up out of this quarantine that you don't let it get the best of you. So there's a lot of people making a lot of money that made a lot of bad decisions. And that's how we got to where we are, right? So now don't allow those people to get the best of you in terms of now you still got to keep your little piece of happiness going. So how are we going to keep our little piece of happiness going? You keep that going by, if you had your ACV shot in the morning, if you did something healthy, okay, it wasn't all bad today. Just be cognizant. Try to drink half of your body weight in ounces of water a day. Try to drink half of your body weight in ounces of water a day. Regardless of what you eat, you flushed your system well. If your system stays flush, that's going to be the best thing ever. So what we want to remember with this water intake is that the calories you drink stay with you longer than the calories that you eat. So that's just another little fun fact for those that don't like drinking water and just, really not in tune with water. I say add some lemon, add some lime to it. Add whatever fruit you have. Make it a, diffused water. Put your fruit in there. Just make it fun. Don't get caught up in what you don't like. Figure out what you are willing to have, what you do like that you are going to do. Start with those things. So if you have a favorite vegetable, start with that. Don't start with the vegetable that you absolutely don't like, because there's vegetables that I'm like, I'm not eating that. I don't want that. But I eat vegetables, and I have plenty of vegetables that I like to choose from, that I don't even have to be bothered with vegetables that don't make me happy. So don't do that to yourself. Now, a vegetable that I want us to kind of all agree to liking or making likable for ourselves is spinach. Spinach is very, very, very good for you. So is broccoli. They have some very good antioxidants in them. They have really good vitamins in them. They're good for fighting cancer. They're going to give you some really good energy if you could get in tune with it. If you don't like it cooked, try it in a smoothie. And when I say try it in a smoothie, whatever smoothie you currently already have that you like what's your favorite smoothie that's delicious, now just add some spinach to your smoothie. And I promise you, it's not going to change the flavor in a way that you don't like it. But you got your spinach in, and you got in raw spinach, which is even better than cooking the spinach. So your body is going to absorb it a lot faster. Like our bodies are going to absorb the vitamins and the nutrients from the foods we eat faster than it will a multivitamin pill that we have. Because what that multivitamin pill does is the body has to break it down. And for anybody that's taking a multivitamin or any type of supplement and you notice a discoloration in your urine, that's how much of the vitamin your body is not absorbing. That's why that discoloration is there. So if the discoloration is there, then your body's really not absorbed. Like you got too much going on that the body can't do anything with. So it's dispelling it. So again, I just want us to really be cognizant of being healthy to a place that will allow us to eat the things that we need. We're eating anyway. We're going to eat. We're in the house. We have nothing better to do. So I just ask of you to eat a little bit healthier. Try to have 2 to 3 servings of vegetables a day. And when we think about vegetables, sometimes we only think about having vegetables with dinner or at nighttime, or we think about salads, but is our salad consistent of iceberg lettuce? Are we doing romaine lettuce? Your salad could be spinach. It could be a spinach salad. It could be a kale salad. So these are different ways for us to get our vegetables in. But if we're making omelets in the morning and you having eggs, put some of those, like I said, eat like the rainbow. Put red peppers, yellow peppers, green peppers. If you make it an assortment, all of those different colors of the peppers are different vitamins that your body is getting. Eggplant, that's a whole nother color that we don't normally eat. So when we think about what we're going to eat today, I want us to really think in terms of eating a little bit healthier. Just be more cognizant of what it is that we're eating. And then, yes, when we have those guilty pleasures, you don't have to feel so guilty about it, because you also ate your cucumber snack or your carrots as a snack. And if you guys have suggestions or ideas of things that maybe that you've done or have done or want to do, let's share. I'm all about sharing. So that was my main thing that I wanted to come on here and discuss this morning, was everybody just being in the house, being that every meal that we're eating is in the house and we're preparing stuff. And think about it. It doesn't take much to cut up, an apple, a cucumber, things like that. Because if we cut it up, we're going to tend to want to, you put it in a bowl, just make it kind of fun. Drizzle a little something. I don't know if you got some agave nectar. If you that person that really doesn't like certain things, just be cognizant of that. And we might be up later at night watching TV or whatever it is. So have an orange before you go to bed, versus let the sugary snacks, let those be the ones that you eat more in the daytime. So it gives your body more time to burn it up. So that way you're not going to sleep with that in your stomach. Because we're talking about fighting this COVID, and we're talking about people with underlying conditions. And what I saw on the news this morning that I found very interesting was how now, as African Americans, our numbers are starting to grow faster than some of the other numbers. And I'm pretty sure all black people across America, we all was in the black people not getting this. Like, you see, it's not affecting black people. Well, now it's gotten to our communities and it's on the rise faster. And one of the things that the doctor that I saw that was talking about this said was the fact that we have a lot of underlying ailments. We have a lot of pre-existing conditions. Some of us know about them and some of us don't. Some of us go to the doctor more frequently and some of us don't. Some of us are being told to lose weight and we're like, well, I'm not going to be white girl skinny, so this is how much I'm going to weigh. That weight means something. It's not always necessarily your size, but it's the doctor saying like what toll is taking on your heart. I know they're telling us to stay indoors and we're being encouraged to stay in. But one thing I want us to keep in mind and remember too is we can still go outside and go for a walk. One older lady I know, she said she's been staying in not just because of the COVID, but because of the pollen. The pollen's been bothering her. So she said she's been walking through every room of her house as fast as she can, just to get her heart rate up. So be in tune with that. 20 minutes a day of getting your heart rate up. 20 minutes a day of getting your heart rate up. That's going to help with a lot of our underlying and pre-existing conditions. We have diabetes, we have high blood pressure, we have just a lot of little ailments that we don't think about or that we're just more comfortable with. And if this is what's personally happening with you, it is going to have a direct negative effect on, if you were to come in contact with COVID, how well or how successful your turnaround will be. So y'all know I told y'all I'm greedy too, right? So that's my oven beeping because I'm making my dessert for later tonight now because I want it to already be ready. So I'm making a dump cake. I don't know how many of you are familiar with that, but it consists of canned fruit. And you literally just dump it in a pan. And then you take some cake mix and sprinkle it over the top. So it's fruit. Now it is canned fruit. And it's sweet and it's delicious. But yeah, so that's what I was doing this morning with my greedy self. Let me turn this beeping off. Excuse me. But yes. So these are things that we really want to be cognizant of. And so I told y'all about my babies yesterday. So tomorrow I'm going to go see my nieces and nephews. So Auntie made dessert. And, you know, the little one, she asked for French toast. So we having French toast tomorrow morning. But what I want to make sure that I relate to everybody is that we're cognizant of doing things that are going to make our bodies more balanced and just putting ourselves in a healthier mind frame. Nobody's saying that now you have to become a health food nut, although there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and I really would encourage it. But also, keep in mind that balance is key. Food is how you actually, are able to nourish your body. So when you're talking about nourishing your body, the biggest way, the number one way we can do that is through food. So when we're talking about food, we could use food to boost our immune systems. We can use food to help balance out our hormones. We can use food for a lot of things. We can use food to even create, clearer skin. These are things that I really want us to be cognizant of, because we're in the house. We're going to eat. So let's just be more cognizant of what it is that we're eating and why we're eating it and what time of day we're eating it as well. 20 minutes a day, get your heart rate up. Just 20 minutes. That's not long. We have nothing to do all day long. You just might find you like it. Because to be honest with you, exercise is the number one way to relieve stress. So if you're stressed out and you could just go for a walk 20 minutes for the day, I don't know, maybe you take the walk with your kids. Maybe you leave the kids in the house. Maybe you do one walk with the kids and one without. But that's going to help you tremendously, because it's going to help you release endorphins. It's going to help you to really work on creating a healthier balance in your body. And we know, because things are so out of whack, that this is an excellent time for us to try to keep our bodies in balance. Again, like I mentioned, I saw this morning that now this COVID is hitting the African American communities, and we're not doing so great. And we're not doing great because there's more of us in our living spaces. We know, like, New York City is the city that's hit the hardest, and that's my hometown. That's where I was born and raised. And New York City is just overcrowded, and it's just that plain and simple. Like, somebody staying out of your way in New York is not out of your way. Like, so everybody's on top of each other. So it's really not too much that you're going to be able to do and it is not uncommon. Like, you go other places and, for instance, I live here in Atlanta. There are plenty of single women like myself that own a 5-bedroom house, and they the only person living there. And that's just a normal thing to happen here. In New York City, you have a 2-bedroom apartment and you have more than 5 people living in it. So what are they supposed to do? Where are you supposed to go? My mom, she grew up as one of 9 children. So that means 10 people in the house, and it was one bathroom, okay? One bathroom. And so little things like that are what create the spread, because it's only but so much that everybody can spread out to. You can't realistically be in New York City and have a 6-foot distance at all time. The city's just not big enough for the amount of people that are there. So because of that, a lot of people have pre-existing conditions and things that have already taken their immune systems down. Just the pollution of the city alone creates an issue for your lungs. I mean, my great-grandmother died at 97, and the only reason that she died was because her lungs hardened. Her lungs hardened because she lived in New York City for too many years. So it was just too many years of breathing in that smog. So it's little things that we can do that are going to really help us. My sister talked about getting some plants this morning. I'm like, plants are really good because you can get plants that are air purifiers. So they help kind of clear out the air. So if you somebody with a lung condition or you have asthma, things like that, look into what kind of plants can help you, can help clear out that air for you. So sometimes we think in terms of just always of a medication or a machine or something that we have to buy, not realizing that there is a natural way to handle everything. And these are little things that we can do that are going to make the big difference. But I appreciate everyone for their time this morning. I hope that the information that I share was beneficial. As a trichologist, we learn so much about the human body. And the irony is, like, it's the study of hair, but hair is part of your body. It's fed off your bloodstream. It's coming directly from the body. So it's like, to understand and to know what's going on with your hair is to understand and to know what's going on within your body as well. So thank you, Dee. She said, I appreciate you. So I'm always live on Facebook and Instagram simultaneously. I am going to do a Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday on this Trichology page. I will send you guys out a list for the week because I have a schedule, because I also am going to be doing Zoom meetings. I'm going to try to do a Zoom this afternoon, and it's going to be on exfoliation, because exfoliation is a really good way to keep ourselves nice and healthy. So anybody that would like a copy of that or that is interested in the Zoom, you can DM me your email address and I will share that with you. On Tuesdays, we have a Texture Talk Tuesdays on my Asha's Hair Studio page. On Mondays, for all of my fellow creatives, hairstylists, makeup artists, everybody in the creative world, I have a Asha's coaching page, and we talk on a whole nother level about just things to keep us encouraged and just kind of sharpening our skills with each other as well. So tomorrow, I'm going to come on here tomorrow morning. I'll probably be broadcasting from my sister's house. Like I said, I'm going to see my babies tomorrow. It's their spring break, so we're going to try to make spring break as fun as possible in quarantine life. And I still will pop on here. I'm not sure that, I think I'm probably going to broadcast from my Asha's Hair Studio page on Instagram, and from my Facebook page, I'm going to broadcast from my personal page. So I encourage you guys to eat healthy. I appreciate your time, and I want you to have a lovely day.